Sure, Bhamraji. Thank you very much. I'm so honored to be here with you all. Bhamraji, you're a yogi yourself, and then I just going to reassure that you are a very accomplished person, and thank you very much for inviting me here. And and there was another great Swamiji who in my experience, all my life, I've been led by yogis and gurus from several places. When your heart is pure, automatically yogis get connected to you, and then you're guided by them. So one of that Swamiji was Anubhavananda Swamiji, who was here, and then he beautifully mentioned, "Be happy." Yoga ka matlab hai, the meaning of yoga is just to be happy, and that is exactly what Lord Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, 12th shloka. He says, Santushta Satatam Yogi. A yogi is always happy. So come what may, just be happy. That is the ultimate essence of yoga. So, a lot of you spoken about and has already talked about what is yoga. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha is what Dr. Tony Nather mentioned beautifully. And of course, uh, once you're able to overcome the chittas or the chitta vrittis, uh, the vrittis are like the pop-up messages continuously popping up from your subconscious mind. And they're the repository, the subconscious mind, as long as it becomes a repository of all your impressions of all the past actions, pop-up messages keep coming in, and then they will disturb you doing what you got to do, in this divine world. And hence, Patanjali Maharshi has clearly mentioned yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. That's the essence of yoga. So, and there are very few. See, people with experience are extremely few because Bhagavan Krishna already clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha, he says. That kind of Mahatmas are extremely difficult. And we had such Mahatma right in the midst of us, and I'm so happy, Bhamraji, you're always guided by again yogis and rishis, and then they come to your programs, and I'm so happy that with due respects to Swamiji, and also such great panelists here. I'd love to share our journey of how I'm a cardiac surgeon essentially. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, an Ayurvedic researcher, and I essentially modeled Vata, Pitta, Kapha in experimental animals, generated data. And why is it so important? Because in a yoga, apart from what Patanjali Maharshi mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, sorry, Lord Krishna mentions Patanjali Maharshi mentions in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Lord Krishna mentions yoga sama uchyate. What yoga means is sama, is balance. And what is sama? When Lord Krishna asked Arjuna, Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna, he says, he commanded Arjuna to become yogi. And when Arjuna inquired, how do I become a yogi? He says, very simple, yukta ahara viharascha yukta cheshtascha karmashu. It's appropriate food. See, listen to this. This is beautiful, very simple formula. Appropriate food, yukta ahara, yukta vihara, appropriate lifestyle, and appropriate action in the material world. That's what makes you a yogi. So while we call food, sometimes some food is called as junk food. I don't agree to that, because no food is junk, because Annam Brahma is already proclaimed in the Bhagavad Gita. Not just because it's proclaimed in the Bhagavad Gita, it is true, but it's been tested. Annam Brahma, without Annam, without food is divine. But what makes a certain food bad for a certain individual is his own body constitution. His VPK proportions, or the Vata Pitta Kapha proportions in an individual, if they're not in a certain balance, then you essentially end up with a disease. That's what Ayurveda claims. So in Ayurveda, while Bhagavan Krishna already mentioned that yoga sama uchyate is what is mentioned, it means yoga means a balance. What Ayurveda has done, the greatest scientists of Ayurveda of the past, of the present, and possibly of the future, what they have done is they clearly came up with a mathematical and a biological, a biochemical algorithm to understand how to arrive at this balance. So that's why the definition of health in Ayurveda is sama doshaha, sama agnishta, sama dhatu malakre prasanna atma indriya manaha swastya ityavidiyate. So what it means is when you bring about a samatva of the doshas, when you bring about a balance of these doshas, of these three doshas in all of the seven tissues and 42 organs, automatically several things happen. Your agnis, your metabolic fires, your energies become balanced. Number one. Number two is sama agnisha sama dhatu. The dhatus achieve appropriate proportions that suit your lifestyle. So no lifestyle, according to me, is bad. Every lifestyle can be substantiated only if you're able to bring in. Because our Prime Minister Modi ji, he sleeps only for 2 hours. And of course, he makes sure that no one else sleeps. That's another beautiful attribute that we have. He makes sure that everyone works for the nation. So that, see, how is he able to manage 2 hours of sleep? And he's at the age of 73. He is so healthy, isn't it? So this sign, I mean, this lifestyle of Modi ji is being supplemented, is being augmented by his yoga practices, which are actually bringing in that samatva or the balance of these three doshas. When you have that balance of these three doshas in all of the seven tissues and 42 organs, your metabolic energies become balanced, then sama agnisha sama dhatu, the dhatus or the tissues attain appropriate proportions, and your excretory function becomes normal. I mean, and then not only this, it leads to prasanna atma indriya manaha. So it leads to physical health, mental health, emotional health, social health, and spiritual health. And you attain a state which is again mentioned in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras as a samadhi. We all have heard about this word samadhi. There is nirvikalpa samadhi and there's savikalpa samadhi. But then how do you attain that state? Ayurvedic Vaidya, by bringing about these three doshas into a state of equal proportion in all of the seven tissues and 42 organs, he brings a patient to a state of swasthya and not arogya. Friends, mind you, this language of Sanskrit is beautiful because arogya translates roga abhasaha iti arogya. That's the Vyakarana Sutra. It's the absence of disease is defined by this word called arogya. But we talk about swasthya in Ayurveda. What does it mean? Swasthanam shirite iti swasthya. See, everything is syntax based, friends. These are all mathematical algorithms, language algorithms that are already given to us. And so when you bring about this balance of these three doshas in seven tissues and all of the 42 organs, then you attain a state of swasthya, which is swasthanam. Swa in the Vedantic parlance means Atma. So you attain the Atmic state, friends. That is the purpose of Ayurveda, or even for that matter, yoga, or for that matter, any yoga. It could be Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, Bhagavad Gita again talks about 18 different yogas, including Vishada is your yoga. So to sum up, what I'm trying to do, what we did, okay, what was our contribution? I'll just take one more minute, Bhamaraji. What we did was we modeled. See, I'm a Western trained doctor, I'm a cardiac surgeon. So anything that is without evidence is not acceptable. I mean, that's what not just me who's saying or the Western medicine saying, but also our Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya. He clearly mentions Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Akarya Vyavasthito. And hence he says only Shastra Pramana or scientific evidence is acceptable for us to choose to do something or choose not to do something. Everything should be evidence-based is what the greatest Advaita Guru, Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya is saying. So taking that cue, what we did was we created models of Vata, Pitta, Kapha in experimental animals. And what we found was really profounding. We identified more than 3,000 markers for quantification of Vata, Pitta, Kapha, through which we arrived at a mathematical biological equation to identify these imbalances in each of the 7 tissues and 42 organs. And once you fix them, your body will automatically, you don't have to remove the plaque in the arteries of the heart. I mean, that supply blood to the heart. The plaques automatically get dissolved. Okay, by the way, we have immense respect to all the scientific guidelines issued by the scientific congresses. So we took up only those patients who have been excluded from the current and modern interventions, and we were able to, we treat only end-stage disease at our institution, and be it end-stage heart disease with patients having EF less than 30, asthma, Steroid refractory asthma we're talking about. We're talking about refractory diabetes, which means you exhausted all options of treating diabetes. And of course, we found new standards for diabetes as well. We need to redefine diabetes. And of course, that I'll reserve a lecture for the Ayurveda day because it's going to be too much. But then, we were able to achieve such immense success in treating end-stage diseases, allergies, asthmas, skin diseases, psoriasis, or your end-stage cancers, B-cell lymphomas, all those. When MAB therapies failed, we were able to, help people, attain that perfect health. And that's a continuous journey, friends. Maintaining health is a perfect and a continuous journey until we attain the Sayuja or the oneness with the Lord. So on this great day of Yoga Day, I met with, I met so many brilliant people here. Dr. Tanuja Neshri ji, Amarjit Bamra ji, of course, Bhushan Patwardhan ji, whom I adore, and Joshi ji, is here, and Shanta Godagama ji, a great yogi who started the oldest college of Ayurveda, is also here, and so I'm so happy to meet every one of you, and I wish and pray that we all bring about the best of both the streams, and find original and authentic sources for both the Sanatana Dharmic sciences and also the Western sciences, correlate them so that a true yoga or a blend of the Western and the Eastern medicine will arrive, and then we are able to, help people and also help ourselves. Actually, we're not helping anyone. We're actually helping ourselves to uplift ourselves to, attain the state of Sayuja. And may this wish and prayer be, with us all always. And then, I'm so happy that I'm here, Bamraji. Really appreciate your kindness. Thank you very much. You're muted, Bamraji.
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Yeah. So delightful, that you could come on at such a late stage, from India at this hour, and look forward to seeing you soon, so we can carry on the good work with the British College of Ayurveda. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh, very good.
yes, Dr.
Mhm.
Bamraji,
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so happy to be with her. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
wonderful. Yeah, so one of the pillars for the Indian traditional sciences is well, I mean, everybody's a pillar, but I had the pleasure of meeting him in Baden-Baden in Germany many years ago. Gayatri ji, he is Dr. Pratap Chauhan. Can you please share your thoughts, because I know that you do sort of great work. With yoga and Ayurveda in Latvia and some of those Baltic countries. Can you please share your wisdom for the next 3 minutes and see and get some ideas from you? How do we incorporate yoga in the West?